So we're doing homosexuality, right?
Man, these are the worst with no notes.
We can manage. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Can I start it?
Yeah.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode... Are we on 13?
Mm-hmm.
13 of The Casual Observers. I'm Jacob, this is Josiah. I will be representing the LGBTQ community. He will be representing the...
This is pizza.
CHRISTIAN community. And...
Christoph?
Christoph from Frozen.
Never seen it.
Really?
Any good?
You've seen Frozen?
I've seen most of it, yeah.
Okay. It's not good. So yeah, we're talking about homosexuality, and I'm wearing a appropriate band t-shirt as usual.
So, is it safe to call this the gayest episode we've ever done?
It is safe to call this the gayest episode we've ever done.
Or will do. This is the gayest episode we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Or who knows? Later down the line, we might just up the gay.
We might. How would we up the gay though? I mean, there's not much more. Well, we haven't even
get
made...
a real gay person.
Yeah, but we don't know any gay people. It's the problem.
What about? Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah. So
we were this close to having an almost gay person on here.
No, that's not. No.
I don't know the details.
Yeah, basically we were this close to bringing on a guest, and the guest did not happen, and so. And what that guest, not mentioning any names, would have acted as is the far away from Josiah, is what, if that makes sense. You are, as I stated, you are taking the stance of the Christian perspective in this episode. Normally we don't, like, say
I didn't
what
agree
stance.
to this.
Oh, really? You want to take the gay perspective? Because
yes, I think everyone should be gay.
Okay,
that's going to be my position.
That's an evolutionary problem.
That's going to
We would just die. I mean...
That's like a James Bond villain plan. He's going to isolate the gay gene, and then he's going to disperse an aerosol across the world. It's going to turn everyone gay. And then that'll be the last generation. The last generation of people.
So why are we talking about this?
Why are we talking about James Bond villains or
no, homosexuality?
Because this was your week to pick the topic, and you were like, "Hey, let's."
Well, we need to talk about it.
Let's go gay.
It's a pretty big one. I didn't say let's go gay. Watch your mouth.
I mean, let's address the elephant in the room first.
Okay.
People probably think we're gay.
We're not.
For each other.
Oh, who thinks that?
I'm just saying, people have probably thought that.
Have they? We don't get any viewers. 2
guys in a room and a camera?
I mean, that just spells out gay to me.
Yeah. I mean, their mind is probably going to the dirtiest places whenever we, stop recording.
I mean, yeah, probably. I'd assume so. There's probably fan fiction out there.
50 Shades of Gay. Anyway, yeah, why did you pick this episode? This topic for this episode?
I picked this episode because, because it's a topic we need to talk about, because there's a lot of issues with it where it's a big thing in modern day society where people are, like, talking about the legality of, like, homosexual marriage, but...
Oh, are we gonna talk about that?
Oh, that'll be part of it. And then, there's a big, like... war, I guess, between Christians and not, where Christians are like, you can't be gay, and there are some people out there
But not like a regular war.
Yeah.
Sort of like a medieval war with like crossbows.
Yeah, it's like straight up holy war.
It's, yeah. Think like Hunger Games style.
Yeah.
Stuff.
In case you guys didn't hear about this, it's happening right now.
Yeah,
you can go to CNN and check it out. The gays have like colored swords and stuff, and
But they're a lot more organized.
Yeah. But there's also, like, a lot of campaigns and stuff because gay people get insulted.
Well, are we going to talk
stuff.
just about Does all the words for LGBTQ, does that all fall under homosexuality?
we're going to talk about every letter.
Oh, okay.
To some extent.
But can we call that whole group homosexuals, or is that not accurate?
See, I'm not an expert, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay, because I was just watching an episode of South Park.
A trans isn't necessarily a homosexual, no. Well, they will tell you that they're not. If they're not gay. Some will tell you that they are. If they're
Right,
gay.
I was just watching an episode of South Park where
That's where
he wants to
really
have his own
confusing.
bathroom, so he says that he's transgender, but it's like he says it's not sexual. He's not attracted to other guys.
Right.
He just identifies as a woman.
Right.
But
and by
I
the
don't know.
way, we are welcoming all males, females, and attack helicopters to watch this episode. All right. So, if you identify as an Apache helicopter, that's cool. I'm sorry, that was I shouldn't.
You can't go there yet.
No, I can't.
Golly, we gotta flesh out some of these issues.
Okay, first of all, let's talk about just homosexuality, like in general. You identify as a Christian, and so what is your stance on homosexuality? Do you think it's wrong? Do you think it's good? What do you think about it?
I think it's good.
You think it's good?
I think it's great.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No,
Well,
it's a sin.
okay.
Yeah.
Elaborate, please.
In what way? That's what I think about it.
So you think it's a sin, and so you think it's wrong, right?
Yes.
Some people would argue that Jesus never talked about homosexuality. So why did Jesus never talk about it? And people always mention how it's only in the Old Testament.
No, that's in the New Testament.
The homosexuality stuff?
Yeah, after Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Like Paul talked about.
Oh, it was Paul. Yeah, that guy. Okay. So in modern day society, why do you think it should be illegal for gay people to get married?
That's a good question. I don't know.
We're off to a great start.
No, I don't know. Like, I don't understand. Like, if it's legal, it's not illegal to. It's like a governmental recognition. That's all it is, right?
Right.
It's like they want the state to validate their marriage as them being married, which I believe now, like over half of the country, it is. They recognize that over half the country.
Oh, probably, yeah. It's just like the Bible Belt and like just the whole, southeastern side, I think.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I guess I don't know what could you compare that to? Like, what could you compare gay marriage to? That's like something that the government could not recognize about you, that you would want them to. You know what I mean?
Well...
Like, what about, like, straight marriage?
What about it? Like, what's...
Like, if the U.S. government didn't recognize straight marriage, would that be an issue for straight people?
Well, if they didn't...
Is it just a validation thing?
If they only recognize... I think it's more of if they only recognize one or the other. If they didn't recognize straights or gays, then it's like, whatever, the government's not recognizing either.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, me too. I think it'd be that the fact that they're recognizing one and not the other is where the homosexuals could feel oppressed or something.
Okay. Do you feel like that is oppression? Is that a form of oppression?
Let's whip out the definition of oppression here.
The old Webster's Dictionary.
Yeah, keep talking.
Well, what are your thoughts on homosexual marriage, homosexuality in general?
Okay, well, let me just say this. Some people think, some Christians, like, it's interesting how you're actually bringing this up. While some Christians will say, I do not condone homosexuality, so if I vote for it to be legalized, then I'm saying that I am allowing for it to happen. What do you think about that?
Which I can see why you would think that, but I don't know if that is the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean,
I just don't know because I don't understand where the compulsion for that recognition is coming from. You know what I mean?
I don't. What do you mean?
I don't understand. Well, I guess like you said, like they recognize straight marriage, so straight marriages, so homosexuals feel like they should have their marriages recognized as well,
Mm-hmm.
and
They,
that's what's driving
they think
the
that there's no
compulsion to-
difference between it, whereas a Christian says, okay, one's a sin and one's the perfect way that God made us, or something, right?
And Muslims.
Okay, sure. Well, yeah, other religions too, I'm sure. But, we're specifically using Christians as a reference, I guess, because...
Why?
Probably because we're Christians.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It does make sense, I think. But I feel like the issue there is...
Like, what's at the core of...
Like, if
Like, well, I guess that's a pretty good reason.
if you don't
Well,
want
like,
to
hey,
condone
our
it...
homosexual marriage is the exact same thing as straight marriage, so the state should recognize it, right?
Right, that's how they feel. Where Christians are saying, I don't want to condone homosexuality.
Because you think it's a sin.
The question is, why is, what about other sins that Christians don't focus on so much? That the government does allow for, or that they do allow.
That's sort of what I've thought about a lot. Because there's lots of things. There's lots of, sin that's legal.
Right.
In terms of Bible stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Adultery.
Yeah.
Gambling.
Yeah.
Some people think drinking might be a sin.
Getting drunk, right?
Getting drunk.
That's a very vague line.
Yeah. Like the level, there's no cutoff inebriation.
It doesn't say in the Bible you can be whatever percent.
You can only 0.4% alcohol.
Yeah.
That's it.
You gotta pass a breathalyzer test.
Yeah, you better be under the legal drinking limit to drive.
Yeah. It says that in John, whatever.
But yeah, so there's like a lot of sin that's legal, but I don't know. And then like even like like going through the rituals, not the legal rituals, but just the rituals of getting married.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can do that.
Right.
Like, two guys or two women can rent out a church, invite all their friends, say some vows to each other. I mean, that's not illegal.
Yeah.
You can have a wedding and, get married, commit to each other.
Yeah. And so that brings up a question.
It's totally legal.
If they were to get married like that, and then like just the government didn't like if people were to do that in Texas, I'm sure there were people, and they would say, "Oh, we're married." Would a Christian be like, "No, you're not," because the government doesn't recognize it? Is that how it works? Like, because the problem is, like, governmental marriage and, like, religious marriage are separate. And that's an argument that Christians make a lot, where they're like, marriage is, like, a religious word, and it's like a religious...
Yeah, it's like a commitment between me and another person and God and stuff.
Yeah. And so that's their argument for not allowing it. But there's a difference between a governmental one and a religious one.
Yeah, so the whole Christian, that's why I can't say like I'm definitely not for legalizing gay marriage, because it doesn't make any sense. If you really and like if you were to vote, be like, yeah, this is legal, state should recognize it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not I don't think you're necessarily saying that, yeah, that's okay.
Right.
And not like condemning that isn't necessarily going to, it's probably not going to help your cause if you want to convert secular people to Christianity.
Right.
So
because it seems like you're being like a jerk or whatever by like I guess oppressing them.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, if you're a religious person, you should you should come from a place of your religion being a higher authority than any sort of man-made government.
Right.
So you should be less concerned with that.
Right.
Of like whether or like what is condoned by this man-made authority. And just trying to convince people that there's this higher authority.
It comes down to like letting people, or quote unquote causing people to sin, right? That's how Christians, I think, or would feel about it. They're like, okay, if I vote for gay marriage to be recognized by the government, then there will be less of an attitude in the country that homosexuality is somehow wrong. And if less people think that homosexuality is wrong, then homosexuality will be more widespread.
So it's like
If it's a choice or
stepping stone?
Yeah. And I think that's how they would feel like they are causing other people to sin and live lives that they think are wrong.
Well, that makes sense.
I mean,
to a certain extent.
So, with that in mind, would you, as a Christian, feel wrong about voting for gay marriage to be legalized?
Well, I cleverly don't vote.
The way around the system. That's good. I don't vote either. That's because I haven't been old enough to vote yet, I don't think.
You're 20?
Yeah, but I haven't had a chance since I turned
21
18 or something.
Oh, yeah, you can vote when you're 18.
Yeah, but I didn't get a chance.
Yeah, you've had years to vote.
Yeah, but I didn't get a chance to. Like, a presidential election or something hasn't come up. It's just been, like, boring elections that are...
Congressional elections? Yeah,
honestly,
those are arguably more important.
The government is, like... I have a very different political view, so the government's completely irrelevant to me. But...
Well, it's not.
I mean... It's
very relevant to you. Regardless of your beliefs?
I think I'm relevant to them. They're not relevant to me.
No, quite the opposite. The exact opposite of that. The exact opposite of that.
Okay, anyways, we're not getting political here and talking about why you shouldn't vote. Christians also believe that you should vote or something too, right?
I don't know if there's a uniform across the board sentiment on that.
I don't know either. Well, there's not a across the board thing on homosexuality either, but that's
mostly. That's a pretty fringe element of Christianity that.
Which one?
That condones homosexuality.
Oh yeah. And it's varied, obviously. Like, you have everything ranging from the Westboro Baptist Church to like actual Christians who claim to be gay. So, you know.
Oh yeah, good point.
So the definition of oppression, I don't know if it's relevant anymore, but it's prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment or control. So I think they would feel that it's unjust for them to allow straight marriage and not gay marriage when they wouldn't see the difference between the two.
Yep.
In a governmental sense, there isn't a difference actually. If you take out like the religious aspect of marriage, then there wouldn't be a difference, would there?
In what? A difference in what?
And in governmental or straight marriage and gay marriage, right?
Yeah, like legally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's no difference between the two types of marriage.
In the states where it's legal, it is this. They're legally the same.
Right. But what I'm saying is, from our perspective of if there wasn't a religion, then we look at it and we say, what's the difference? Is there a difference? This is a segue into
biological, yeah.
There you go. Biologically, there's a difference. So let's talk about the biological aspect of homosexuality, shall we? What are you looking up?
I was just looking up the size of the homosexual population, because this is like a really big issue.
Mm-hmm.
But like this affects like probably less than 5% of the population.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's move on. So the biological aspect. Basically, I think the question here is. Well,
the big question that everyone asks is like, is it actually a choice?
Right.
Or is it just? Are you just?
And I've heard pretty 50-50 on it actually. Like, so there are some gay people who think it probably is a choice, and there are some that don't, which is a really weird thing. Like,
yeah.
It's I know like a lot of people will call you a bigot or something if you say, oh, that it's a choice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
but there are a lot of people who do believe it's a choice.
But
Why
let's talk
would
about the biology, though.
yeah? Homosexuality and evolution. What's up with those two?
I don't know. The concept of homosexuality kind of seems like it's in direct conflict with like just how we think evolution works.
Yeah, it's almost like homosexuality in itself is like the opposite of letting natural selection happen or something. Like, because for those of you who don't understand what we're saying, you can't breed if you have two people of the same gender.
Yeah.
And so therefore you can't let a species grow and survive if that happens. So how would it be?
Mutation? Could be a mutation.
All right, but hang on, let's talk about this. How would... Okay, so it would be a mutation. That would be the only way for it to come about.
For it to enter the gene pool.
If it was biological, yeah. It would have to be a mutation. So let's assume it enters the gene pool, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we get a person who...
is attracted to the same sex.
Right?
Yeah.
And so then what happens?
Well, they either find another homosexual, they find another one of their own species with the same
or someone
mutation.
willing to experiment.
Yeah, or an adventurous one of their own species. And then that animal would die without passing its genetic code on.
Right. And then we would have no more homosexuals.
Unless it did procreate, but it had the gay genes. And then it could be like a recessive thing?
That's exactly it. It could be recessive. That's how it would have to work, is...
We're talking slim odds here, right?
Pretty dang slim. But there could be a mutation in a person...
There was a mutation, yeah.
...that has an attracted to the same gender quality in it, but not like a 100% change of it, and so the person could have a little bit on
bisexual?
I guess.
Oh, here's the thing. Some animals do display bisexual behavior. It's as part of a mating rituals.
Some humans do too.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm talking about outside of humans, obviously.
Yeah.
Like
I know, but it would be the same thing evolution-wise.
There are some animals that it's part of a mating ritual to do things with the same sex, and then that attracts the opposite sex to you. But that's still like they're doing that to get a mate of the opposite gender.
Whoa, that's cool. What animals do that?
I don't remember.
Cool, nailed it.
But as far as we know, well, last I heard, geneticists haven't been able to isolate a gene that codes for homosexuality.
Right. If they were able to, then we wouldn't even be having this debate right now.
Right.
But I mean,
if you could isolate the gay gene, quote unquote.
Really, about maybe like 2 years ago, I was probably strongly of the belief that like, look, the chances are too low for evolution to make that happen. Evolution cannot account for that, and homosexuality has to be a choice. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, it being spread is not that unlikely when it could have been just a recessive gene hidden for years and years and then like was being reproduced, right? And so it's like pretty widespread throughout our population, but it's not as like strong.
Well, if you think about it, if it was passed down, if it is being passed down via a recessive gene, if it ever if it ever switches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then, so do you know about genotypes and phenotypes?
Haven't heard those words in a long time.
Okay, I forget which one is which, but I think the genotype is all the genetic code that you have, like from both your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And then your phenotype is the one that actually gets displayed.
Right.
So, like my dad has straight hair, my mom has curly hair. I have curly hair, but I have the genes for straight hair inside.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So my kid could have, if I get married to someone with straight hair, my kid could have perfectly straight hair.
Right.
Even though I have curly hair. But that would be that recessive gene coming up because I have curly hair.
Exactly. See
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if it ever did come up in the phenotype, and someone actually displayed homosexuality, you know what I mean? It wasn't it was a recessive gene that actually displayed itself. You know what I mean? Well, then that person wouldn't be able to pass on that gene again.
Right.
Right. So then it would become recessive again.
Right.
Like further recessing it back. Or does that happen?
But
do genes get further recessed the lesser and lesser they show up?
No, I don't think so. And I think,
so I could have a kid with blonde hair and blue eyes because somewhere in my lineage,
I mean,
that happened.
They would get smaller and smaller depending on who you mate with. Like if you kept, if your family kept mating with like dark-skinned people and stuff, then yeah. And so I guess I see what you're saying because they would all be,
Because obviously you're only gonna mate with somebody who also is not displaying the gene either.
Well, so they're not displaying it, but they could have it, I guess.
What I'm saying is, doesn't it get slimmer and slimmer every generation? Because it's getting farther recessed.
Okay.
I don't know.
You might be right. Yeah.
I don't know if that's how it works.
But there's also.
But then again, you've also got like.
People have more than one kid. You need to remember too.
Yeah. So and then you've also got like. Just because maybe they are displaying the gene, they are gay. But they were born at a time when it's not acceptable, so they get married.
Exactly. That was what I was going to bring up. Is like...
Well, but see, that wouldn't present itself until you have social structures arise.
Okay, right. But I mean, we had social structures a long time ago.
But I mean, like before we had morality, is what I'm saying. That concept.
Right.
And speech developed before that. So this is like these genes would have to have.
Well,
like a Neanderthal. If you have a gay Neanderthal, he's not feeling any pressure from his tribe to get married and mate, is he?
Well, listen. There's also the bisexual thing what we were talking about, just like with like heterochromia or something. You know what I mean? Like, the person could have the recessive gene, they could have both, and then they mate and reproduce, but they only pass on the gay one or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that could happen.
I mean, the odds are getting slimmer and slimmer every time. I feel like there's a lot working against this theory.
Oh, there definitely is.
For it to have made it to this, like, the edge of where we are right now. But, I mean, it is possible. And then there's other possibilities, too. Like, it might not be a straight-up gene, but there might be, like, genetic stuff that codes for biology that makes you think that way.
Exactly, yeah. It could, because, like, everything we think and stuff is all just chemicals in our brain. They could have some weird chemical... I don't want to say imbalance because then I might offend someone. They could have
but it's essentially
a different balance in their brain than.
And I have heard of research where there's some trends when they study homosexual brains. There is some correlation between there's some similarities between different homosexual brains like most straight men have a heightened sex drive than women, but they've seen this some gay men have a lower the sex drive closer to women, and I forget what part of the brain that comes from, but they can see it, you know.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, it's not like a hard line, obviously, but there's some similarities like that.
Right.
When looking at homosexual.
I mean, it could also just be
brains.
like aren't there people born who are kind of like an in between the gender, right?
Hermaphrodites?
I don't know if that's the word.
Yeah. They have genitalia of. They have both male and female genitalia.
Okay, well, if we have that, then what if you're saying with the brain thing? What if like a let's say a gay man actually was born with just some like womanly features inside of him, quote unquote, not physical features, obviously, and that's
Like mental?
it could be mental or something like that, yeah, or like a chemical balance, like estrogen or something, right? And it causes them to be attracted, whatever it is inside them, causing them to be attracted to the other thing. They could be born like as like an in between because there might not be a 100% male or female then, right?
That's. Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, we're trying to make arguments for the biological aspect here.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's on the biological part. There's
a lot unknown.
It's pretty possible though. It's not impossible enough for you to say that it's 100% one side or the other. And I think the people who rule out that it's a choice, I think those are the people who are trying to be social justice warriors or something. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not, because, again, it's pretty 50-50 on whether it's a choice or not, the perspective of whether it's a choice or not. And so there's no defining
evidence.
It's
like 60-40.
60-40? Is it?
You think it's split right down the center?
I have no idea. I haven't taken a pool of like 100 gay people and gotten their opinion or anything. But, I mean...
No, I'm talking about the chances that it is a choice.
Oh, I have no idea. Do you think it's... What way do you think it... You think it's 60% choice?
Well, after this conversation...
You think it's 60%?
I'm thinking it's a lot harder that... I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. And, by the way, when we say choice, it could also be a subconscious choice. Just, I feel like that has to be said, otherwise someone's going to call me out on... They don't, like, wake up one day and think, I'm going to be gay, you know? It's a series of... It's like nature versus nurture. Like, the way they were raised and stuff.
There is situations, I mean... Like, there are, like, straight men with kids that, like, in their 40s...
Yeah, they, like...
They're like, oh, I'm gay.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, it was repressed all my life or something.
Either I wasn't up until now, or I was all along, and I've been living a lie. You know, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Which is weird. That's
Which I've heard of. Yeah, I don't know. Like, is that...
That seems to, like, happen all the time. I've heard many stories about that, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what that is. It's like repressed homosexuality.
Right, but I think if it's repressed...
I'd be interested to see what they self-describe that as.
I think that's more of nurture, though.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe, like, they see other gay people, you know, and they're like...
Well, not
I gay?
That. They were just, you know, like, raised in a way that causes their mental structure to lean that way later on in life.
Yeah.
There's also the aspect of... See, it's such a huge range because, like, there's some gay women, or gay men, I guess, too, that they dislike the other gender, and that could have something to do with either they dislike it because they're gay, or they subconsciously turned gay because they had some, like, negative experiences with it or something, if it's a choice, right? A subconscious choice. That would be that could be one of the factors, right?
Yeah.
So there's clearly no defining way on that, and obviously we're going to get a lot of hate mail, and people are going to be like, "Man, you guys are idiots. It's obviously not a choice." But the chances you gotta recognize that the chances are also pretty low, considering evolution does fight it strongly.
Well, it certainly doesn't help it.
No, I think it's actually fighting it. I think they're actually two opposing forces. I mean, there's like evolution's purpose is to reproduce, and
do you want to talk about child abuse?
Child abuse?
Yeah.
If you want to, is that part of the homosexuality then?
Well, there is some statistics that
Okay,
show
I'm listening.
like a large portion of homosexual adults have a history of.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It's the nature versus nurture thing, right?
Yeah.
The environment they were placed in caused subconscious effects on them or something, right? There
Possibly.
you go. Yeah.
It's a possibility.
Or maybe they just liked being raped and they were like, hey, this is, I'm going to try this out when I'm older.
That's definitely not the case.
I was joking, dude. I see your face, though, and I recognize it's disgust.
Yeah, you are disgusting.
Yeah, I am.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
So, all that being said...
Disgusting is a choice, bro.
Okay. No, it's not. I was born this way.
No. Your friends and your family made you this way.
Some people could be born disgusting. But disgusting is subjective, so...
No, that wasn't.
So, all that being said, do you think that gay marriage should be legal?
I don't know.
Like, okay, let's say that gay
marriage...
marriage...
What do you think? You think gay marriage should be legal?
Let's say if it's a choice...
Yes or no?
I have no idea, dude. Governments,
Okay.
I think, is just all screwy. I think marriage shouldn't even be a part of the
Yeah, but
government.
they need you. You don't need them.
Shut up.
I'm gonna have a slice of pizza.
Okay. He said he didn't want it. He's been chowing down on that thing, though.
It's all cold now.
Well, yeah, pizza's better cold anyways.
It's not cold. It's lukewarm.
Yeah, pizza's better lukewarm anyways.
Oh,
When it's
cold,
when it's cold, the meat is all gross and stuff. But when it's hot, when it's lukewarm, it's not.
I don't even know what you're talking about. You don't even eat meat.
I know what meat tastes like. Okay.
You've forgotten.
I've forgotten my ways, man. I used to be cool. So if let's say that homosexuality is a choice, at that point should it be legal or illegal for them to get married?
Legal.
Legal?
I don't know.
And if it's biological, it should definitely be legal then, right?
Sure.
Because like there's nothing it's not like them doing something that's wrong. It's something that they can't help, right?
Look, I'm basically a libertarian, so anything as a libertarian, most of us believe that anything you do to yourself shouldn't be a concern of the government.
Okay.
Essentially.
I think that's reasonable.
You want to do cocaine, you want to drink yourself to death, you want to get gay married, go for it.
As a social Darwinist, I agree with that.
As a libertarian, the only laws we're concerned with are about physical harm to other people. So that's pretty much the only, physical and then property rights, of course. Those are the only things that the government should protect the right to. It should have the right to safety and property. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. We have no Republicans here, so this is probably should have brought a Republican on to defend their point. Okay, so I guess we can move on to the next part. What's the next part, Josiah?
Obviously, the moral implications.
The morals of it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it morally incorrect to be gay?
Yeah, is it?
From an evolutionary standpoint, yeah. If you were like Charles Darwin's son or something, you're like, I gotta, preach his legacy. And you were like, homosexuals are going against evolution, right? I have no idea, dude.
I guess if you believe evolution is some kind of
A religion?
yeah, which
Yeah.
I don't think most people do.
Mm-mm.
Well, you're a social Darwinist. How do you feel about this?
A social Darwinist.
Yeah. Marriage is a social institution.
From a social Darwinist perspective, I would say I don't care about this at all. And if you're getting beat on and insulted and stuff because you're gay, you just gotta man up and deal with it.
What if you're a gay man?
If I'm a gay man or if they're a gay man?
If they're a gay man, do they still man up or do they woman up?
And that's a good segue into gender identification.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
What is transgender? I don't know.
I know. It's so complicated.
I don't know.
Okay, there's a difference between transgender and transvestite, right? Transvestite is the one that's...
What about transsexual?
A transvestite is the one that's actually physically two different genders, right?
I don't know.
Well, we're looking it up. This is why I wish I brought an expert on, but that expert refused to join us.
Really?
I'm making them feel bad right now.
She refused?
Whoa! How do you know it's a she?
I mean, he refused?
Okay. Wiktionary says...
Does he watch the show?
Transvestite, a person who sometimes wears clothes traditionally worn by and associated with the opposite sex. Oh wait, that's not it at all.
So they identify as their own gender?
They're the cross-dressers. Transsexual, let's see this one.
But does wait. Does a transvestite identify as their biological gender or not?
It's not definitive of either side. They could be either or.
Okay, so it's only a matter of clothing?
For them, yeah. They're just cross-dressers.
That's why it's called transvestite.
Nailed it, dude.
Got it, okay.
Okay, yeah. A transsexual is one who has changed or is in the process of changing their physical sex.
Oh, okay, so we're talking about surgical sex changes.
So a transsexual is someone who actually is in between genders. And then...
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So you only call them transsexual while they're transitioning? And then once they're done, then they'll be whatever gender they transition to?
I think they're always a transsexual because they can never 100% be the other gender.
But I mean, once they get to the max amount of whatever the opposite gender
there is no max. There is no 100%.
It's not 100, but whatever the max is.
No, it's one who has changed or is in the process of changing. So yeah, they're always a transsexual.
Oh, okay. So I see. There's a lady at my work who is biologically a woman, but she's
originally biologically a woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
she identifies as a man, so you should say he.
She identifies as a man. She had her breasts removed. She cuts her hair short. She takes some kind of hormones, and her voice is deeper. Yeah, it's she had a regular high-pitched female voice.
Yeah,
and now it's just slightly lower.
Yeah. She moved from soprano to tenor or something. Not
essentially.
Not freaking really.
And I think she identifies as a man.
Okay. Well then that would be a.
So she's a transsexual.
She is a transsexual.
Okay.
But she is also a transgender. Which is having a transgender is having a gender identity opposite of what you have. So if she's identifying as a man and has changed her sex, she's a transsexual and a transgender because she wasn't originally a female. She's identifying herself as a man.
Wait a minute. What does transgender mean just on its own?
Identifying as the other gender. Or identifying yourself as an attack helicopter.
Wait a minute. So if you were a transsexual, let's say you were a transsexual man, and now you've biologically changed into a woman,
and still identified as a man.
Yeah, but you're a lesbian. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, because once you start calling them lesbian, that gets really weird. Because
if let's say you're a man, you're a transgender woman, so you were a man.
No, listen. Because
you understand what I'm saying?
It gets really complicated because what if let's say I identified as a woman, but was still physically attracted to females? At that point, I'm a lesbian. Because I identify as a female, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. So what if you had a transsexual man that is now a woman?
Male to female, right?
So he turned into a she, and she identifies as a man still, and she's attracted to women.
But why would she do that? To try to win over the heart of a lesbian they know or something?
That's one scenario, yeah.
Okay.
So she's a
This is a very obscure scenario.
transsexual lesbian. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Or the opposite, a woman who's a transsexual turns into a man, but she's a gay.
Okay, well,
Or
at
he's
that
a
point,
gay
there's
man.
still a transgender because it says having a gender identity, which is the opposite of their physical sex.
But they physically changed.
Yeah, the man who changed to a woman who identifies as a man is still a transgender because he's physically a woman now, but identifying as a man still, and so he's still a transgender. So
but he's physically a woman now.
Yeah, physically a woman, but still identifying as a man. So therefore, he's a transgender because he's identifying as a sex that is opposite of his physical gender.
Right, so he's a transgender transsexual.
Right, but they all are. You can't be. You can be a transgender without being a transsexual. But if you're a transsexual,
I was trying to create a scenario where you were a transsexual, not transgender.
Wait. Okay, maybe you're right. So
you see what I'm saying?
So maybe if you identify as a woman and then get the transsexual change to a woman, you are now physically a woman and identify as a woman. So then you're not a transgender. That's right. You were saying it the opposite, but you're right.
Okay.
Okay. So if you change
in that situation.
Jeez, that's weird. That's what always confused me. But let's talk about gender identification because this is, oh boy. What is it? I've never been able to figure this out, and maybe you can help me figure this one out.
Probably not.
What is it that makes you identify as the opposite gender?
See, that's the thing. So you could theoretically you could identify as a gay man, or you could identify yourself as a woman.
A straight woman. If you liked men.
Yes.
Right. And so people...
Is there a difference there?
So people could call you gay, but you could correct them and be like, no, I'm actually a woman, even though I have a penis still, and I could...
Right. Okay, so maybe those people are the ones that want to get the gender reassignment.
Right, I think those would be the ones, yeah.
And they want to be transsexual. Right, yeah.
I think so. They don't all have to be, I guess, because the community is really large and they can just do whatever they want like that, but...
They don't have to get the sex change?
They don't have they don't have to want to get the sex change.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So they could just be like, well, I'm biologically a man, but I want to identify as a woman.
And I like men.
Yeah, so for all intents and purposes, I'm a gay man, but I identify as a woman, not as a gay man.
So I technically, if
I
said I don't want to get a sex change, but I identify as a woman, and I like women, so I could say if people ask me,
you said you as a man?
Look, listen, I like women, right, ladies? I like women, and so I could say I identify myself as a woman,
but a lesbian,
right? So if someone asked me, I could say I'm a lesbian woman, but I don't want to get a sex change, right? Does that not make sense?
Yes, but at that point, would you be a transvestite?
No, because I'm not changing clothes. Unless I start changing clothes. Then
because you identify as a woman.
No, see...
But you don't want to get the sex change.
This is what I read today that's really giving me a kind of new perspective on it. A transgender is one's own subjective belief of what gender they are. So I could believe subjectively that I am a woman, but objectively I have genitalia of a man, and so I'm a man. Because that's the only defining, the defining characteristic of a gender is 100% objectively based on your biological, DNA and stuff, right?
Okay.
But you can subjectively identify as... Subjectively, everyone can identify their own way of, the opposite gender. Or an attack helicopter.
Can you explain why I keep bringing that up?
You haven't read that?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a joke.
Can you explain? Well, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm saying for our audience.
It's a joke on the internet about yeah, it's like a guy talking about how he thinks gender identity is stupid, and so he's basically like, I believe I was born in an attack helicopter. I have 2 big cannons or whatever, something, and call me Apache. Right? But obviously I butchered
Who is it?
that.
Louis C.K.?
No, it's an internet meme. It's just like someone made it up one time and it's posted all over the place whenever people are talking about transgenderism.
From Louis C.K. though?
Maybe it is. I doubt it.
Okay.
It sounds like a Louis C.K.
Yeah,
thing.
it does. So you could be a man, identify as a woman.
Mm-hmm. I could say I'm a lesbian female.
Well, okay, so in terms of your actions, well, no, because if you identify as a woman,
Right.
oh no, lesbian women sometimes do dress like men.
Nailed it.
So that would be the same. Oh yeah, so
Not that.
other than your
not
sexual activity,
The dressing thing. That's what's funny about it is people.
that could go either way, no matter what.
Yeah, let's segue into this point I wanted to bring up where people say I identify as one gender or the other, and I say, okay, what is it that makes you identify as that gender? And like, oh well, I just feel on the inside of me like I'm a woman or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is making you feel that way? Is it because you've always liked womanly things or something? Well, spoiler alert, things can't be womanly. That's like sexism at its finest, right?
Well,
And so you can't.
I mean, a lot of people do feel like there is sort of male and female things to do.
But there's not, though. Like what these transgenders are doing, and I'm gonna probably get a lot of hate for this. I'm getting on a soapbox here. Is they're trying to gray the line between male and female, but there's also another definition of male and female that they're also trying to gray the line of by saying that certain things are male and certain things are female, and
like action figures versus dolls.
Sure, right? And it's like, well, no, the person, you could be a straight male who grew up playing with dolls or something, right?
Not action figures.
What? What? So, it's like, it doesn't, I don't want to just flat out say that doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't make any sense. I'm really failing to understand where you can say that you identify as the opposite gender when there's no defining characteristic that makes you identify as that gender. What is stopping you from saying you define yourself as an attack helicopter named Apache?
Well, nobody. Do it.
Okay.
And I identify as a lesbian woman.
Okay, that's cool.
Wait, could I? Would that change anything?
Well, what?
Because for all intents and purposes, that's the same thing as being a man.
Well, it's not though. You're gonna get hate for that because
no,
it's the same thing as being a biological man, an objective one, but subjectively, you are on the inside identify yourself as a woman, but all of us around you have no way of determining that you on the inside, for some reason, without any purpose, define yourself as a woman, right?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I want to know if there's any men out there that actually...
I think people have said it jokingly before, but not serious. No way, right?
I think I've probably brought that up to you. And the fact that would be the same thing.
You know what's funny about this, though, is... Okay, let's say you've got a man, right? And he says... Are you ready for this? This is going to be really good. Are you ready?
Okay.
Get prepared. You have a man who gender identifies as a woman and says he's still attracted to women and doesn't want to get a change because he doesn't want to be a transsexual, right?
Wait, say that again?
He's a man
okay.
who gender identifies as a woman
okay.
and doesn't want to get a change so he doesn't become a transsexual. He wants to keep his body, right? He meets another man who also identifies as a woman and is also attracted to women who also doesn't want to get a transsexual change. What happens there?
They're not attracted to each other because they're not attracted to men, right?
Right, but what's the defining attractiveness? Like, are they, like, you could be attracted, you could say...
Like, they're both men that...
They're both physically men.
They're both biologically male.
Who both gender identify as lesbian females. Lesbian females date each other, spoiler alert. So what I'm saying is, would those two, like, hook up because...
But that would mean that they're attracted to other women.
Right. And they're both women, according to their own gender identity.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be attracted to each other. Because how would they know that the other person identifies that way? Right. So they wouldn't be attracted to each other.
Or...
They would just think that they were two men.
Maybe it's less of they wouldn't know, because they could become friends, and they could tell each other later on in life. They could be like, yeah, I identify as a woman. And they would be like, hey, we've been friends forever. You want to hook up? Well, no, that's not how it works, because they're attracted to the physical body. They're attracted to what you objectively are as a gender, not what you subjectively are. Right?
Yes. I see what you're saying. I cannot find this transgender helicopter meme.
Look, I'll find it. I'll read it.
No, just tell me what to look up.
No, I got it, dude.
No, just tell me what to look up.
No, dude, I got it.
No, just tell me what do I type in?
I already found it, dude. Google found it for me. I already found it. Like, okay, I got it.
What is it?
It's a copy pasta, so that's why it's Give it a second. I need my internet to work. Okay. I sexually identify as an attack helicopter. Ever since I was a boy, I dreamed of soaring over the oil fields, dropping hot, sticky loads on disgusting foreigners. People say to me that a person being a helicopter is impossible and that I'm retarded, but I don't care. I'm beautiful. I'm having a plastic surgeon install rotary blades, 30mm cannons, and AMG 114 Hellfire missiles. Hellfire missiles on my body. From now on, I want you guys. From now on, I want you guys to call me Apache and respect my right to kill from above and kill needlessly. If you can't accept me, you're a heliphobe and need to check your vehicle privilege. Thank you for being understanding. There we go, dude. See? That's what I'm saying. We could replace attack helicopter and all those words with something else, right? He's like dead.
Yeah. We could. But, okay, but the difference is... The difference is a helicopter is an inorganic machine.
I identify as a grizzly bear.
Okay, that's different.
Okay, let's.
Okay, well that's not in our species.
And I'm getting claws that surgically attached to my body.
That's not the same species.
Okay.
Yeah, you
so
can only
the same species.
Yeah, it's got to be the same species, and it's got to be only genders that already exist.
Okay, well I think, but why is it relevant if it's just all subjective? Like, there's no defining characteristics between male and female other than biologically. So how can you identify yourself as the other gender if you don't biologically have the other genes?
Psychologically.
But it doesn't matter. Are you saying they're psychologically ill then? Because they're incorrect. Like,
they're psychologically.
Spoiler alert! You're not a woman. Like.
What are you saying? Homosexuality doesn't actually exist?
No, homosexuality is completely different. I'm talking about gender identity.
Okay, I'm a man, but I think I should be a woman.
Okay.
I identify as a woman.
You think you should be a woman, not that you are a woman. Because transgenders, I think, they think on the inside that they were born a woman into... They always say, I was like a woman born inside a man's body or whatever.
I think I might be a gay man trapped inside a straight man's body.
That,
What would that make me then?
a gay man. Wait,
But I'm trapped inside of a straight man's body.
are you sexually attracted to females?
Yes.
I have no idea because what?
Okay, I just made that up. I'm sorry.
Like, because you can't think that you're a gay man and be attracted to females. What would be leading you to think that you're a gay man at that point?
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. What leads you to that conclusion? Like, all they ever say is, "Oh, I feel this way," and like,
yeah, their feelings.
And
Where do
people-
your feelings come from?
people always
Chemicals in your brain.
And people
It's
always-
a psychological thing.
and people always say, it's feelings and it's really difficult to explain and stuff. And I'm sure it is difficult to explain. There's a reason I haven't read about it. Well, if it's just feelings and it's difficult to explain and stuff, then it's exactly that. It's
Blasphemy?
Yeah, jeez,
Oh,
like
really?
it doesn't make any sense. It's all just mental. Like, it's like a crazy person saying something crazy. Like, oh, I feel like, okay, let's say you said, like, say something completely neutral.
I like women.
Okay, I was expecting you to say I like pizza, but that works good. You like women? I'm offended. Oh,
Why?
you're horrible, Josiah. I feel offended. I think I'm offended. You said you like women. Oh, I'm walking out of here.
Why? Why would that offend you?
Exactly.
We got the rest of the show to
Sorry.
do.
Exactly. Like, the fact that I feel offended and stuff, if I actually said I feel offended and walked out, wouldn't you think I'm a little bit crazy for thinking that I'm offended by you saying that you like women? You would think, I don't understand, that guy's a little bit off.
Okay, yes, I would think that.
And that's exactly what they're doing when they identify as a gender, no? I shouldn't be getting up on a soapbox like this, but someone needs to explain.
So if I said, Jacob, I identify as a woman,
Mm-hmm.
I think I am a woman.
Yep.
Trapped in a man's body.
Uh-huh.
Then what? You think that's
I would
crazy?
say, what makes you think that? Josiah, what makes you think that?
I'm attracted to men.
What makes you think you're not just a gay man?
Isn't that the same thing? Or no?
No,
Is it
they're
not?
not. They're
No.
not.
Okay, well, in that case, I don't understand it either.
Because you can gender identify as a man and still be gay, and like, you can identify that every iteration of being straight and gay and being male or female or being bi or trans of any sort, vesti, gender, or sexual, all those variations can be a person. Apparently. How do you identify as a gender? Is what I'm Googling right now.
I sexually identify as a attack helicopter.
You found it. Good job. Gender identity is a person's...
What was this first posted to?
I have no idea. Gender identity is a person's private sense and subjective experience of their own gender. This is generally described as one's private sense of being a man or a woman, consisting primarily of the acceptance of membership into a category of people, male or female. All societies have a set of gender categories that can serve as a basis for a basis of the formation of a social identity in relation to other members of society. In most societies, there is a basic division between gender attributes assigned to male and female. In all societies, however, some individuals do not identify with some or all of the aspects of a gender that are assigned to their biological sex. So are they saying that they
Wait,
identify...
I've got something to read here too. I am affirming, if being a trans object attack helicopter is a sin, why didn't Jesus ever say anything about it?
Okay, so what I got from this, though, from what I just read is... Okay, let me see if I can bring it up again. Okay, all societies have a set... Listen to this. All societies have a set of gender categories that can serve as the basis of the formation of a social identity in relation to other members of society. In most societies, there is a basic division between gender attributes assigned to males and females. In all societies, however, some individuals do not identify with some or all of the aspects of the gender that are assigned to their biological sex. So what I'm getting from that is that they're saying that in some societies, like in our society, dolls are associated with females, action figures are associated with males. If you're a male that likes dolls, then you could gender identify partly as a woman? Are they basing it on these like fake stereotypes that these countries have created and where the society that they live, and that's where they identify as the other sex? Because if that's the case, they probably shouldn't get a gender change.
I guess, yeah, it's society.
They shouldn't go to that extreme just for something like that.
It's culturally specific, I guess. Right?
Right, but shouldn't they understand that the stereotypes they don't actually exist? There's no such thing as a female or male hat or shirt, right? That doesn't exist. They know that, right?
Dude.
A shirt can't have a gender, can't have like genitalia. I mean, because they could like print it on it, but not Dude, you need to focus here.
I'm sorry, dude. That was first posted in this subreddit called Side Hugs, and it's
that Christian sad hug. Give me that Christian sad hug.
Yeah, I think that's where it's coming from, and it's like, I think it's a Christian subreddit almost.
I think that's we've moved on from there, though.
Though this is a circle jerk subreddit, the term circle jerk is sexual in nature and thus offends the Lord. Instead, we shall use the term side hug or side hugs to describe the nature of self-affirmation in this subreddit in a non-sexual, gender-neutral way.
So,
thou shalt not post anything that satirizes or mocks Christianity or Christians in general. Thou shalt not link to other Christian subreddits. Thou shalt not direct posts at specific users. Ye shall not make any anti-God posts. I don't get it if they're making fun of Christians or not. But it's hilarious.
In most Western societies, there exists a gender binary, a social dichotomy that enforces conformance to the ideals of masculinity and femininity, that's hard to say, in all aspects of sex and gender. Biological sex, gender identity, and gender expression. Some societies have third gender categories that can be used as a basis for gender identity by people who are uncomfortable with the gender that is usually associated with their sex. In other societies, membership of any of the gender categories is open to people regardless of their sex. So I could identify as an attack helicopter.
Why?
Because some have third gender categories that can be used as a basis for a gender identity by people who are uncomfortable with the gender that is usually associated with their sex. So they're using like a third, they could say I'm not male or female, I guess. Unless I read that wrong and you're not listening and you're not going to correct me for reading that wrong.
Just read that again?
Some societies have third gender categories that can be used as a basis for gender identity by people who are uncomfortable with the gender that is usually associated with their sex.
Sorry, one more time?
Jeez, dude. Some societies... You're not even listening. You're like scrolling, looking at memes, dude.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Some societies have third gender categories that can be used as a basis for a gender identity by people who are uncomfortable with the gender that is usually associated with their sex.
That's not necessarily an inorganic object or a auxiliary, different species.
In other societies, membership of any of the gender categories is open to people regardless of their sex. Right. But what I'm saying is we could create a society, if we were rulers of the society, me and you, we could create a society or a country where the three genders are male, female, and attack helicopter. And the attack helicopter could be the third one that people
it would be hard, but yeah.
theoretically, because that's what it's saying. It's saying in other societies, membership of any of the gender categories is open to people regardless of their sex, regardless of their objective gender, regardless of their like genes and stuff.
Okay.
Are you just gonna read jokes and stuff, or?
No. Dude, there are Christian subreddits, dude.
Okay, we just had like 10 seconds of silence because you're
You're looking up stuff. Okay, fine, I'll talk. Okay, yeah, transgender. Okay, gender identity is a really weird, fluid thing.
Hey, that's exactly what I just read. Gender identity is formed as children search for social cues and display approval for others based upon the gender with which the child identifies. So gender identity is very fluid among young children.
Yeah, I mean, little boys and little girls play with each other all the time, up to a certain age.
Phrasing.
Before they realize that, oh, I'm a boy, I play with boy things. I like my boy toys. I like my action figures and my superpower. You know?
Ooh, this is interesting.
Okay, let's hear it.
Although the term gender identity was originally a medical term used to explain sex reassignment surgery to the public, it is most often found in psychology today, often as core gender identity. So it was originally a medical term used to like explain why someone would want to get their gender reassigned? That's interesting.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, what else?
I mean, maybe, I don't know why you would want to get your gender reassigned. Maybe you just like, you know, like
That's when you get your genitals changed, right? Either your...
Yeah, like I guess you could just like
off.
want a vagina, but I mean...
Wait, can we surgically place a penis?
Yeah.
Get out! How does that work? What is it made out of?
Well, I assume part of...
Can you pee out of it?
We can't get too explicit here, you know that, right?
Why not, dude? This is NC-17.
Okay, I'm sure it's somehow the nerves are somehow connected to the clitoris and
Wait, you
like,
can
the skin.
feel it?
I'd assume so. I can't tell you for sure.
Dude, if that is true, that is an amazing feat just of science I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would be crazy. If they could redirect
Right.
the, what do you call those things that you feel with? The nerve endings? If they could redirect the female genitalia nerve endings and graft that onto like some sort of synthetic penis?
It's not synthetic. It's you like your skin and stuff. It's actual flesh from you. They take it from you.
From where? They just...
Let's Google it, dude.
They're taking flesh from different parts of your body, molding it, sculpting a penis. They sculpt a penis from pieces of your own body. Then they reconnect the nerve. Can they? Oh my! Is the tip? Whoa! They could make any part. They could make the shaft the most sensitive part, and not the tip.
Wow, dude! This episode just got like freaking rated R hardcore.
Dude, this is not good for little kids to be listening to.
Yes, women can undergo gender reassignment surgery and have a penis created from the tissue in their vagina. It's complex surgery, but it's technically possible for a girl to have a penis this way.
I wonder if there's size limitations. Why is this funny, dude? I'm marveling at the science of it.
Okay. Yeah, but it's not appropriate for the show, I don't think.
I mean, come on, dude. This is just a marvel of science.
I mean, I would assume there's only limitations based on how much flesh you have, right? The nerve endings would be stretched over a larger surface area, though.
So it'd be less sensitive.
Yeah.
Potentially. How much you channel all of those to the tip? In which case?
In which case, it would be less sensitive overall.
No. I'm saying if you concentrate at the tip, then that would be the most similar. To the male experience.
Are you done?
This is just fascinating.
You're right, guys. He is gay. Social factors which may influence gender,
Wow, dude, I
gender
thought you
identity.
liked scientific discovery and innovation.
I do, but I don't think it's appropriately discussed on a YouTube channel for kids.
This isn't for kids. This is an adult show. We're all adults here.
Are we? Am I an
Yeah.
adult?
You're not even a teenager anymore, bro. You just turned
I'm
20.
not even a teenager anymore.
Not even a teenager anymore.
Okay, we can talk about sex all we want then.
Yeah, dude. The birds and the bees,
I'm
man.
still trying to figure out this gender identity thing. Social factors which may
Dude, we have
influence
gone
gender
through this
identity.
forwards and backwards.
I know, but there's gotta be, like, I don't want to be right about it, because if I'm right about it, then people are idiots. And I don't want that to be true. Social factors which may influence gender identity can include ideas regarding gender roles conveyed by family authority figures, mass media, and other influential people in a child's life. Another factor that has a significant role in the process of gender identity is language. There are ways that certain words are associated with specific genders. The relationship between language and gender has largely reflected how linguistic practices, among other kinds of practices, that was weirdly placed, are used in the construction of social identities related to issues of masculinity and femininity. So, children learn language to separate the two genders. Children are often... Please do not do that, dude.
What?
Do not hit me with that rubber band.
I'm just working out my forearms.
Okay.
By
If you hit me
stretching
with
this.
that, I'm gonna kill you, dude.
Dude, this is a serious show. You don't think I would just slap you with a rubber band
Yeah.
just to get a few laughs from our audience?
Please,
Would
man, the way you're talking.
Would I stoop so low?
You would.
Just because this episode is dragging right now?
Is it dragging? I feel,
Yes.
man, I really want to get an answer
We are
to
just
this.
circling this topic over and over.
Yeah,
Move
like,
on.
I can't. This can't
Just
be right.
accept that you're smarter than everybody else.
No, that's not how it can be, though. It's not acceptable.
Look, I'm gonna put this rubber band on my knee like that, and then it's gonna fly up like that. Okay, I've got another one ready.
Dang it. There you go. Okay, fine. Then gender identity doesn't make any sense at all. If you have reasoning behind it, I don't want to make that statement. Do you want to make that statement? I'm not making the statement that doesn't make any sense at all. To me, it doesn't make any sense at all, but I don't think it objectively doesn't make any sense at all. There's got to be some reasoning behind it, but Josiah doesn't want to find that reasoning and doesn't want to talk about it.
No,
so.
I just don't want to sit here and watch you find that reason.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I don't just watch you randomly search the web for...
Well, I'm on the Wikipedia page about transgender.
Look up gender identity. Why don't you just
That's
click
what
on
I'm.
that?
That's what. It's the same thing. That's actually what I'm on. I'm on the Wikipedia page of gender identity.
Well, okay, at least we're closer. You're closer to the truth than you were in the last page.
Transgender and gender identity are basically the same thing.
They're not the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
What time is it?
Time for you to get a watch.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's 12:16.
Oh, this is something we can talk about. Many people
Ooh.
consider themselves to be cisgender. I'm sure you've heard that word before.
It was on the episode of South Park about it.
Was it?
Yeah.
That is belonging to either the man or woman gender corresponding to their assigned sex of male or female. So I'm cisgender, and you are too, right? I really hate that word though.
Why? Why don't you just call that male or female?
Exactly. That's why I hate that word. That's stupid. It's because they're
What does cis mean?
what they're trying to separate, like, basically what gender identity is trying to do is separate biological gender from, like, mental gender, and I don't think that's how it should work at all. Like, there's one correct, you are objectively one gender based on your biology. The whole purpose of gender is to define what you are biologically. And so that's where we can end that, right?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Would you consider yourself a homophobe?
No, I'm not scared of gay people.
I knew you were going to say that because I was saying the same thing. I hate that word too because people, it's a phobe, so it's a phobia. And so you should be scared of gay people according to that word, but it's not. People use that word to describe people who do not like gay people. And I think
it's grossly over
yeah.
misused.
Yeah, that word is not, people using that word, you don't know what that word actually means. Apparently.
Republicans, they're a bunch of bigots and homophobes.
Yeah.
Like, yes, they have a fear of gay.
When I walk by a gay person on the street, my gaydar goes off and I have to like sprint home.
Like at the mall, they crisscross this like the hot topics and stuff.
Yeah, some people could be, but I mean.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it's a real thing.
Right.
I'm just saying, like people use that.
Okay, so did we cover everything?
Dude,
lesbian, gay, bi, trans, and queer. I don't know what queer means. I don't know what the difference is with.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was part of the acronym until.
Oh, I think the acronym goes on longer, but I don't know. Yeah, it's like LGBTQWERTYOUPASDFGHJKL ZXCVBNM.
No, LGBT.
I just went through the keyboard, dude. Actually, I think I butchered that last line. Last line is ZXQIA CVBNM. Is that what I said? If that's what I said, leave it in the comments below.
Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex.
Asexuals. There are people who identify as asexuals. We should have talked about that too. Let's talk about that.
That'd be pretty cool.
There are people who don't have a sex drive at all, and they say they're asexual. I
find that very hard to believe.
I mean, they could have a very low sex drive, but I really doubt that.
That's not asexual.
Yeah.
No matter how low it is.
Yeah.
If it's greater than 0.
I mean, there's no way. It would have to be greater than 0, like, biologically speaking. Like. It's the same thing with gays, where evolution doesn't allow for asexual genes to come through. But it could be a choice. It could be a subconscious choice, or it could be a...
Yeah, I'm not going to attract myself. I'm not going to be attracted to any more of the
You could do that, like, subconsciously.
Or ally, a person who does not identify as LGBTQIA, but supports the rights and safety of those. Why? Yeah, that's me then. I support the rights and safety.
Yeah, you shouldn't insult gay people or be rude to them because they're gay or anything like that.
Yeah, why?
They're still people, like.
Just like you and me, they got dreams and hopes.
Yeah, I just want to say this real quick. Like some Christians tend to have like this idea that gay people are like the worst people on the planet, but what about liars and thieves and stuff? Are those people not just as bad, if according to their religion?
Yeah, equally as bad.
Yeah, according to the religion, yeah.
But I'm sure there's some really nice murderers out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there are. Like, there definitely are. There are people who have technically murdered someone who either have been redeemed, like, psychologically, or accidentally murdered someone, or...
Yeah, I'm sure they're really nice people.
Some of them could be, yeah. I mean, I'm really nice.
Oh, mystery.
That's my next episode. Are we done here?
I think we're done here. Thanks for watching, guys. You can find me at twitch.tv.nurianlindale, NURIONLDALE.
Ah, so close.
You can find him at youtube.com/Josiah Sandu. Josiah Sandu.
Yeah. What's our topic for next week?
It's my week to pick.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm asking.
Well, it's going to be something really fun and interesting, like... Ooh, I know what it's going to be.
What?
It's going to be all about intergalactic colonization.
That's a really bad topic.
Why?
There's not enough to talk about there.
There's so much to talk about.
And I like the fact that you keep getting sci-fi stuff, though, because it keeps us balanced. Like, I'm the one who, like, brings in, like, the serious topics, and you're just like, dude, we gotta talk about AI right now.
That was one of the best episodes we
ever
had.
That was our best episode, I think. I'm pretty confident that was
right up there next to the time travel.
I mean, this was our gayest episode, but that one was our best
This was the most gay.
This was the gayest episode. Facebook.com/TCOpodcast, TCOpodcast@gmail.com.
Live long and prosper, guys.
Take a comment. Actually, yeah, take a comment, please, because not because we need it, but
we want it.
Which we do want it and need it, and we want you to like and subscribe and stuff. But also because this episode, I feel like me and Josiah did not represent the gay community as well as we could have, and there's definitely something.
I felt like I did. I was defending I was defending gender identity rights against you.
Were you?
Yeah.
What did you defend?
I was giving you all kinds of reasons about why you're wrong.
No, you didn't.
I was.
Defend it right now. How does gender identity make sense?
I was saying it's a psychological thing.
Yeah, it's a psychological thing.
I was saying they feel like some guys feel like they're a woman, and you're like, oh, it doesn't make any sense, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, where do all our feelings come from?
They can feel, but their feelings are irrelevant, is what I was saying. Remember the whole point where I got up and walked across the room and came back and...
Yes, but that's not a feeling you had. That was a decision you made.
No, the feeling I had of being offended when you said you like women. It's irrelevant.
That was a choice you made, not a feeling you had.
Yeah. It's true. No one's ever been compromised by being a white straight male with 2 blue eyes. So,
no one's ever been what?
Compromised? I'm quoting Protest the Hero, but that song's relevant to this. Go listen to Tilting Against Windmills by Protest the Hero. It's a pretty edgy song. What are you looking up right now, did you say? We're done talking about LGBTQ stuff. You can...
Oh yeah, now we can talk about whatever we want. Have you been watching Better Call Saul?
Dude, I haven't. I'm sorry. I want to.
I want to talk about this with somebody, man.
I really want to watch it, but
There's only one guy at work that watches it, and I can't have an intelligent conversation with him.
Why not?
I don't know. He just doesn't think about it. He just doesn't think about these things on the same level.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not because he can't. I think he's pretty smart. I'm just saying he just doesn't watch with the same intention, you know?
I respect that you think that I would be able to do that.
Well, yeah, I know for a fact that you watch the TV shows with the same level of scrutiny. Because we've talked about shows before.
True, with Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, Walking Dead. That's probably it, I think.
No, dude, the first season of The Following we both watched.
The Following? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever keep watching that?
I did, I watched season 2.
Any good?
It's not great.
Oh, actually, I did. I watched some of season 2 where he's on the farm at the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like, man, they need to really do something with this character and then move on.
Actually, I don't know if it was the first half of season 2 or all of season 2 that I watched. I don't know if maybe the rest of it's out or if they're moving on to season... Oh, you know what? It was all of it. They're moving on to season 3. It was definitely entertaining, but it wasn't good. Like, you are absolutely right. Season 1 should have just ended. It should have been a 1-season show, and it would have been great.
Or just, you know, they could have picked up the show, but, like, totally reworked, you know?
Well, there
like maybe Kevin Bacon after somebody else.
Well,
Or, you know, some sort of splinter society.
There was some cool stuff that happened in season 2. Like, there was another cult that, the main villain guy, I forget his name, got Joe Carroll. Joe Carroll and Emma, I think her name was.
The babysitter?
Yeah. They got involved in another cult, and that cult was even crazier than they were, and they were like, oh, what's going on here? And it was a pretty entertaining...
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, and like...
They were getting freaked out by how freaky this other cult was?
Yeah, like, the cult, like, almost, like, sacrificed Emma at one point and, like, slit her wrists and stuff, like, on a big stage in front of the rest of the cult, and they were all cheering, and Joe was like, you messing with my lover? And things happened, but... Because he...
Did he...
No, he didn't do that, but, you know, things happened, and I don't want to spoil it, but that was a pretty interesting part of season 2.
That sounds pretty good. Should I watch it?
I mean, you watch all kinds of bad TV, so sure.
What are you talking about?
I mean, you spend more time watching TV and movies and stuff than I do, and if I watched it, then you should probably watch it. Like, it's not great, and if you get bored, obviously just turn it off, but it was...
Did I only watch the highest quality television?
It kept me entertained.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Flash. Arrow.
The first one you named, I heard, is not very good.
Gotham.
I heard Gotham's not very good either. I wanted to watch that, actually.
I don't like it.
Really?
But I watch every episode.
Okay.
I just gotta keep my nerd cred up.
Yeah. Go watch the following season, too, then.
But, I mean, I do. The only really good shows I watch are Better Call Saul. And I guess South Park.
Is Arrow not good?
It's like it's comic book good. It's like CW good.
Mm.
I mean,
There's probably a reason I stopped watching it. Like, I thought some of the stuff was entertaining, but I definitely...
Willa Holland. That's what you thought
Willa
was entertaining.
Holland, yeah, baby. You should check her out in the OC when she was actually like not ugly. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Willa. I love you. Please forgive me.
How different could she look? She looks like
she was a
she
lot.
looks like she's like 16.
She was a lot younger. Yeah.
She's 23. How long ago was the OC? It ran from 2000, from 03 to 07.
So she was probably like 16 in the OC, and so people are gonna call me out saying I'm creepy.
Dude, that was 12 years ago. So she was 10.
No, 2007 was the season she was in. She wasn't. She was only in the last season.
Oh, okay. So that was 8 years ago.
And how old is she now?
23.
No way. She was not like 14 in the OC.
That means she would have been around 14.
No
wait.
way.
No, that means she'd be 15. 15.
Okay, that's more respectable.
What?
No way. Was she really 15?
She's 23 right now.
Guys, there you go.
Wait, the show ended in 2007, which would mean it started in fall of 2006, which she was born in June 1991. So 91 to 06.
It's 15.
Yeah, she would have been 15.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. I'm a creep for liking a 15-year-old.
But did you watch that in 07 or 06 when it was on?
No, I watched it when I was like 17. So it was more respectable.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you
well,
were
I mean, I
attracted to-
still think she was attractive when she was younger.
How did you know her before the OC?
I didn't. I watched her in the OC.
That's what I'm saying. So you're just attracted to someone that's basically the same age as you.
No, what I'm saying is now I still think she was attractive in the OC. Like, if a picture of her, I would still think, like, yeah, she's
Well, yeah, of
looking.
course you would.
Even though she was 15.
Yeah, but it's not creepy because it just all that matters is the first incidence of your attraction. If that was creepy.
Really?
Well, this is just for my personal
Oh, okay.
my personal creep test.
Oh, okay. I respect that creep test. I am of the strong opinion that people are... Like, people who think it's weird to be, like, dating younger people, I think that they're weird.
Was she, like, all dark and moody in the OC?
She was pretty edgy, but not, like... She was not, like, an Arrow, no.
she's kind of got big teeth.
Not in the OC, she didn't?
What about Katie Cassidy?
Who's that?
The other girl on Arrow.
Probably didn't like her if I didn't comment on her. Was she in the... Wait. Oh, you mentioned her. She was the blonde one who...
No. This is the brunette one.
Oh.
The main brunette lady.
Yeah.
Arrow's main squeeze.
Her face is weird.
See, that's weird. That's funny because I think Willa Holland's face is kind of weird.
I know. See?
But I still think she's pretty, though. I think both they're really...
Well, I have higher standards than you do. And I'm not saying that my standards are better than yours, but I have higher. Where you see that both of them are pretty and I only say that one is. If that makes sense.
Well, okay, fine. Yeah, I'll concede. I think Willa Holland may be prettier than Katie Cassidy.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, yeah. Now that I see some more angles here.
Yeah. Look at that one. She's like all butch.
That's
and stuff.
exactly the one that I was. That's exactly the one that made me think that.
We're talking about this one. Can I bring it up on camera? Will they see that? Yeah, they can totally see that. Look at that. Ugh. She's all like, oh man.
But wait, how does Emily Bet Rickards?
Emily.
The blonde one. Where does she rank between these two?
Emily Bet Rickards? Looking it up. You guys can follow us. We're saying all names. You can go to Google and follow us.
Emily Bet Rickards. Where does she fall for you guys?
Oh, this is the one you told me about, who came like during the last few episodes that I watched. She beats the other girl, but she's still not good looking.
So she's above. So you said
Her face is too long.
Too long?
Mm-hmm.
Like the forehead or the chin?
No, like it's just too tall. Like it's too long. The whole dynamic from the
Actually,
chin.
yeah, her forehead is kind of proportionally larger.
I'm just gonna make you realize that all the girls that were good looking are ugly.
No, I still think she's pretty.
Yeah, okay.
So you're saying below Willow Holland, but above the Katie Cassidy?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
I don't know why we're doing this.
Wait, what about the...
There's a third chick on Arrow?
There's what's-her-face's sister, Katie Cassidy's sister on the show.
Okay.
Whose name is Katie Lotz.
How do you spell the lots?
Lotz.
Oh, it's Katie with a C.
Katie with a C, Lotz.
Katie with a C and a Y.
Yes, Katie with a C and a Y. I'm thinking towards the lower. Actually, I think she's less attractive than Katie Cassidy, possibly.
I was gonna say she's a little above them. She's kind of got like a more masculine Ellen Page thing going on.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. You know,
Yeah.
she kind of looks like Ronda Rousey.
I don't know who that is.
She's an MMA fighter.
Oh, you know what? I do know who that is. I mean, I've heard that name and I've seen pictures of people on Facebook.
She was on Fast and Furious.
I didn't see it. But...
No. Oh yeah, she was on Fast 5 or Fast 6, and then she was also on in Expendables.
The what?
She was in Expendables 3.
She looks like a man too.
Yeah, she does have a rather masculine face, but that is top of the line for MMA fighters, female
I'm
fighters.
sure. They probably lose half their face while they're fighting.
Yeah. All right, so that's all the women of Arrow we just ranked.
Yeah.
So we got her at the bottom, Katie Lotz at the bottom.
Should we be ranking men too because this is a gay episode?
Oh yeah, totes.
Keanu Reeves.
Dude, I think it's Steven. No, just on Arrow.
Oh, okay.
Not everyone
okay.
of all time.
Well, I was just picking random ones. Johnny Depp, Keanu Reeves.
Okay, so on the show, we got Colton Haynes.
Is that the main dude?
No, Stephen Amell is the main Arrow. I'm thinking he's got to be close to number one. He's in contention for number one. Then we got Colton Haynes, who's kind of got this sort of angry teen look.
Oh no, his face looks like a brick, dude.
It is rather square.
And it's pretty bricky.
But, I mean, you know, it's not necessarily unattractive. I mean,
I can't tell you what's good looking or not, but...
come on, bro. Just give in.
No, what I'm saying is, like...
I think women like that.
The brick look?
Yeah. I mean, I think he would rank higher than Colin Donnell.
Colin Donnell?
Dude, just look up Arrowcast.
Yeah, but I want to, like, Google images them so I get more angles.
Yeah, then when you click on them, then you just hit images.
Oh, okay.
And then it's just like you image search that one guy. See, this guy has a really generic face.
No, I think he's better looking than the other guy.
No way.
I think so, dude.
Then Colton Haynes?
Yeah.
Where does the black guy rank, though? David Ramsey.
That
guy's name is David Ramsey? I didn't know that was his real name. Dave Ramsey is also a white guy.
What?
He's a white guy who writes books about, like, debt management.
Okay. I don't know how to rank black people.
Wow, you racist? Just say what you think.
Better looking than the brick.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, I would say that too. He's definitely ripped Pex McGee. I'm thinking he probably used to be a fitness model. Okay, definitely. This guy is definitely at the bottom. The police officer, Laurel's dad, who's a detective.
I don't. What's the name?
Paul Blackthorne, he's got to be at the bottom. Yeah, so Paul Blackthorne at the bottom. Then Colin Donnell. Then Colton Haynes. Then David Ramsey. Then Stephen Amell. Can we agree that Stephen Amell's at the top?
Is it the main dude?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Okay.
Nah, dude, I think this,
Oh, I forgot about
Blackthorne
John. I forgot about John Barrowman, who's sort of the main bad guy. He's still on the show.
What about the dude who plays Deathstroke? Nah, he's ugly.
Manu Bennett.
Yeah.
See, that's a brick face that I don't like.
Yeah, he's ugly.
No, Brandon Routh is on there now. He looks like a kid, even though he's like 38.
Dude, he looks like the kid from Breaking Bad in that one angle right there. Like
Which
that
kid?
That he for the freaking cerebral palsy or whatever he had.
Oh.
The main kid.
Yeah, he does kind of actually.
Yeah, Stephen Amell wins though for sure.
Okay, cool. So Manu Bennett, Paul Blackthorne, Colin Donnell, Colton Haynes, David Ramsey, Stephen Amell. Okay.
No, I think David Ramsey is above over Colton Haynes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I don't know.
I said I was going bottom to top.
In
So-
your opinion, I think our opinions are a little different. There's too many men
Yeah,
here
there's
to
too many
rank.
guys to rank.
Yeah,
I
when
can't-
it's women, there's like four.
I
Like
can't
I
get them all
can deal
straight.
with
I
that.
can't get them
Yeah.
all straight.
Yeah.
Well, there's more, because, like, actually, yeah, none of them that are, like, really staples of the show for any amount of time.
Amy Gumanek, she looks alright.
I remember Summer Glau, she was on there. She was on Terminator Salvation, Terminator the TV show. No, Sarah Connor Chronicles. Remember her?
I never watched that show. Well, I think I saw like one episode a long time ago.
Yeah, she's the Terminator, the female Terminator.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I don't think there's anywhere else we can go from here.
Yeah, I think, man, got a good...
Go support your local gay bands like Cynic and
They're gay?
Sean Reinhart and Paul Masvidal came out as gay like a year ago, and the metal community was like really nice about it too, which I was proud of.
Cool.
Who else is gay? John Travolta?
No.
Yeah, he is.
John Travolta
We're talking about, yeah. Dude, he's totally gay.
of Greece?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
John Travolta
Yes.
of Greece
Yes.
and Pulp Fiction.
How have you not heard about this, dude? He's totally gay. See, he's married to a woman, but he had some gay thing happen or something recently.
Well, maybe he just had a gay experience. That doesn't mean he is gay.
Oh. Apparently there were rumors.
Told you, dude.
Hang on.
Golly.
John Travolta is speaking out against gay rumors and a pending lawsuit filed against him by an alleged former lover. There you go. He had a former man lover.
I don't believe it. Well, who are some famous gay people? Oh, that guy from White Collar.
I haven't watched White Collar. I mean, I've seen a couple episodes, but I don't know.
What's his name? His name on the show is Neil Caffrey.
See, the fact that we're even talking about famous people. Oh, Ellen Page is gay.
Oh, that's probably the most famous gay person.
Well, I think she's been gay forever, but I mean, people have known she was gay forever. But
Matt Bomer. He plays a super straight guy, but
Hey, the guy from Queen, Mercury.
oh, Freddie Mercury. Yeah, that's old news.
Yeah, but I mean, he was pretty famous. We shouldn't be distinguishing them, man. Hey, we gotta keep. They shouldn't be separate things. We gotta talk about famous straight people too. Let's see, John Travolta.
Robert Downey Jr.
Thomas Jane. I was just thinking The Punisher because we said John Travolta. I was thinking from
Oh,
The Punisher.
yeah. Marlon Brando? Oh, Marlon Brando was bisexual, I think.
Bryan Cranston? Oh.
I hasn't been confirmed. He's
Oh,
never come out as straight.
He's a human, so he's gay or straight. We can mention him.
True.
Or he could be asexual, and we can mention him still because we're talking. We can just mention any people.
I mean, we want to
Jacob
mention.
Clodfelter?
Well, you're not exactly famous, but.
I'm famous on this show. Everyone watching the show knows who I am.
That's an interesting perspective, actually. Well,
Okay.
yeah,
Well.
I guess.
Yep.
Alright, well, I'm pretty tired, guys. It is,
Like almost 1 in the morning.
12:43. So, thanks for watching, everybody. You can find me youtube.com.
We already did all that, didn't
Sorry,
we?
Sandu. Facebook.com/Tcopodcast. I think that's it. We will see you next time. Bye.
Oh, wait. If you want to be on our show, we're doing a new series that I didn't tell Jose about called BYOT. Bring your own topic and you can be on our show.
I can be on the show?
Yeah, bring your own topic and you can be on the show.
I will next week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It'll
about
be nice to have you along.
intergalactic
I think
colonization.
that's a bad idea, dude.
We'll talk about it off camera.
Okay.
Bye! Alright, see you later, bro.
See ya.